For those of you who don't know me, my name is Damien Priestley. I'm a contemporary artist originally from Belfast. I moved to London in the late 1980s, where I lived for the next 25 years. I now live in the suburbs of Kent Down and Rochester. Over the course of the next few weeks and months, hopefully, I'll be talking about my inspiration, my process, and the research involved in my work. This series is titled Through the Curtains. The source of inspiration for this is a childhood memory, actually. When I was aged around 5 or 6, I visited my grandmother's house in the east of Belfast City most weekends, and I would sit on her stairs and look through the rings at the top of a heavy burgundy curtain, velvet curtains, which hung in the hallway. I think they may have been taken from the Ritz Cinema. That might be a family rumour. The sights and the conversations I remember were a combination of the seemingly ordinary, regular family gathering, enjoying endless cups of tea, the occasional beer, and more than a frequent bottle of Guinness. There might even been a black bush in there, who knows. Nothing too noteworthy, with the exception of what was being discussed, of course, with the troubles unfolding and spreading on a daily basis outside our own front doors. The relevant talk was of dire developments and their inevitable consequences, rather than what would normally be expected from an ordinary, working class family gathered in a mid-terrace on a Sunday afternoon. I would guess the banalities of neighbourhood gossip would be par for the course. I didn't speak too much when I was young. I was a much better listener. Probably sound advice from my grandfather, who always said, if you learn to keep your mouth shut and your ears open more, you might just learn something. Wise words. Politics, real politics, was mainly the fuel which drove the room. This is something I'll return to in later episodes. But for now, these forthcoming observational essays are my view of real life through the curtain. The themes most commonly recurring in my drawings and paintings are of a socio-political nature and from a revised historic perspective, contemporizing but not losing any of the facts. Occasionally the social and political elements may not appear to be significant or even present. For instance, my examination of 20th century cultural movements. However, I will go on to explain and expand on the importance of these movements and the ripples on the ponds of society that they caused. In addition to my work, I'll also be giving a little information on how and where I grew up, the times, the events, and the upheaval, and how all of these things not only underpin my work, but are its very lifeblood. In week 1, for those familiar with my website, you will know my back catalogue stretches over 20 years to 2001. That's for my contemporary and modern work from now. I've been an artist all my days, obviously, but for the sake of this series, I'm going back over 20 years. The earliest and most significant series of work was a collection titled Missing. Missing Series 1 followed up quite quickly by Missing Series 2. A retrospective look and a further investigation in the original research with an updated and, benefited with the time of hindsight. We'll see whether anything has changed for that narrative, or indeed if I would approach it in a different manner. A serious subject which continues to this day. This look back will be a common current running through the river journey of my channel, I guess. What I have found over the last 25 years of exhibiting is that with the amount of background research in the narrative, along with the compositional ingredient for each piece, there are many stratas and facets to be looked at and explained, I think. From previous talks that these are best explained by me. Various exhibitions I've done around the world, if I manage to draw a crowd, the people always get it when I talk about it. Sorry, gallerists, you're not stepping up. This is the way it is. I'm not suggesting that in future critics or historians will be arguing or even debating my work, but in the small chance that they are, all the answers, subject to no conjecture, will be recorded here for prosperity or reference. Each new episode will be around 15 minutes long and screened on a fortnightly basis. Because, just remember, everybody has the right to be infamous for 15 minutes. Thank you.